Good morning, good morning, good morning. Now we're going to do this one. I think I have to get into the page now. I have to go on to there. Hello. I'm just setting up now my Facebook one. So normally there's two of us on here, as you know, me and Butch. But on my own today. Cool. That's a bit radical, I think. Or should it be that way? Take your phone. Take your phone. Yeah, maybe it needs to be something along the lines of that. So this is a bit different. So now I've got two devices going. I've got finish. What's finish mean? Oh, in case I've ended it, right. So I've got two devices going because normally we've got Butch with us, but Butch is off, he's ill. So, and he's in America, I'm in England, and we do this show together. And he's a bit ill at the minute, so I'm sort of doing it on my own, but I can't do it through the StreamYards because I've only got I use my iPad and my phone. So what I've had to do this morning, instead of going through StreamYards and going to both Facebook and YouTube, I've got my phone on Facebook and my iPad on YouTube, just to see how we get on with that. So good morning to the people that are watching us on Facebook, and good morning to the people that are watching us on YouTube, because we're doing it separately this morning. So there's no need, Chris, to upload the video today because it'll be the same one. Good morning, England, and the Roman. teespring.com/no288 if you want one of these. Hello, Will. CJF, hello. Ian Menham, Danielle, Andy. Nice to see everybody. Disney, hello Disney. Yeah, still no Butch this morning. But he did. I noticed Butch had set up the, it's like an invite thing on Facebook, you know, a schedule that the show's on. And so I noticed that, and then I just found a way to invite everybody in my friends list. So, and that's about 240 people or something like that in my friends list. So I went to share it, and it comes up with the invite, and when you're on it, you can go scroll down, and it comes up with the invite bit and all your list of all your friends in A to Z order, and you can literally go through and invite. I didn't even know that existed, didn't even know that was there. All this stuff we're learning about Facebook, all these things we should have known already about Facebook and didn't know. Pardon me. You know, all these marketing things, nobody tells you in a nice, easy to understand way. I mean, how simple is that? Every day we put up the shows, and every day we could literally invite everybody in our friends list, just at a stroke. Suddenly you could have 1,000 people watching, you know. So my tie keeps coming down, I don't like to see that. I've got a single Windsor on this morning because I normally use a double Windsor, but I've noticed and it's a bit big. As a knot, it's a bit big for the shirt, so I don't think shirts are made nowadays to accommodate a double Windsor. So I thought I'd try a single Windsor this morning, see how we got on with that. See what we got on this morning as a typing. Ermintrude. If you remember Ermintrude. And I found out some, looking at all this Facebook marketing and how to share to groups, etc. I had another one of my accounts blocked yesterday for sharing too much, and then another one opened up this morning, so off I went again. Hello Popcoin. And off I went again this morning, sharing again like mad. So I think, you know, so far we're up to about 17 comments on, it should be 21 I think, but we're up to about 17 comments on that video now. So it does show it can be done. I've done about, I can't think how many I've done, but loads. Mind you, I have used 4 accounts to do it and pushed the boundaries on them, left, right and centre. But then again, I've pushed the boundaries on those, a couple of them are disposable, so you know, 3 of them are disposable, so it doesn't matter if they get blocked, rather than you getting blocked. At least I can push the boundaries and find out what we can and can't do manually. And I think we've now got to a point where we can almost guarantee taking any post, no matter what it is, whether it's a post or a video or whatever, we could take any post now, I think, and get 1,000 shares on that post. Just from what we've learned over the last week, 2 weeks, we could take any post and get 1,000 shares on that. And I think from a coordinated effort from next week, we will. Which videos have you been sharing in and have they been getting more views? So there's a list of probably about 10 or 11 that I've been using. Not everybody's been using all of them, but I have. Just to test it out, I've done it on the silver proof competition. So if you go on to facebook.com/The Great British Coin Hunt, don't forget, if you go on there at the moment, at the you know, the recent posts, there's one there to win yourself a penguin set of 50p's, Falkland penguins, and all you got to do is like and comment. And then there's another one there for winning a silver proof Peter Rabbit, solid silver Peter Rabbit, full colour, and all you got to do on that one is like, comment and share it, and complete a hat trick, do all 3. So that's all you got to do on that one. And yes, I've done we've done the Ostomate video, has got somewhere in the region of about 400 or 500 shares, and it's been seen something like 9,000 times. One of the coronavirus lives that was on one day on Facebook, we just used that and we shared that over and over and over and over again. And that one ended up with, because the lives on Facebook, they only last for 8 hours and then it automatically switches off. So you've only got a time limit. And within the time limit of when I started sharing, etc., etc., that video had 20,000 views. 20,000. So what we're learning, what we're putting together over the last weeks, none of this old malarkey of, you know, all these computerized, buy this, buy that, buy the shares, buy the likes and all the rest of it. What we found is a real way of doing it, absolutely bang on real. This works, it's real, the accounts that are sharing it are real, well, apart from my 3 false ones, but even that's real because it's manual. It's not an automated account that's sharing them, you know. As I've been told, stop touching your face and scratching your head. Remember the virus. Wash your hands, especially with the coins. How many of you are still not washing your hands properly when you're searching coins? You know, 5 or 10 minutes searching coins, go and wash your hands. 5 or 10 minutes searching coins, go and wash your hands. Pain in the arse, but you'll stay alive longer, which is the important thing, don't you think? Hello Ryan, nice to see you there Ryan. popped in and said hello. So yes, I don't have Facebook. There's nothing I can do about that, Ron. Yeah, nothing I can do about that at the moment. You have to open one up. If you want to join in the competition and stuff, you have to open one up and you know, send us all a friend request. We'll all like quickly join and you can have an account up and running. But the competition and that video, etc., and the sharing thing that we're doing, it only works on Facebook. I can't find another way of making it work on any other social media. It doesn't work on YouTube. You know, I used to put a lot of time into Facebook without even understanding it. Then I found that YouTube was better than Facebook, so we came over to YouTube. Now, because of what I've learned, Facebook is like 100 times better than YouTube. And you can get an unbelievable amount of views and attention on Facebook if you know what you're doing. So if you take that same video, that Ostomate.tv video, you take that video on YouTube, it's been seen about 400 or 500 times. Hello, David. If you look at it on Facebook, it's been seen over 9,000 times. So, you know, you cannot manipulate that on YouTube like you can on Facebook. And it's complete manipulation. That's how it's being done. It's manipulation, but it's manual manipulation as opposed to hitting a button and letting something go off. No, I hate Facebook. I don't blame you, Ron, to be honest with you, but that's all there is. It's all I can do for that one. Hello, Judith. Nice to see you, lovey. So yeah, so that's working. That is really working nice, and we've only been on it a matter of days. Days we've been on it, you know, and already it's brought in a phone call from the Daily Mail. You know, I mean, that in itself, incredible. Look at all the work that we've done on YouTube. All of that work for how long now? For a year, 2 years, trying to get that attention, trying to get some media attention in order to get them to jump on board and highlight the issues. How long has that been going on? And we ain't really broke the surface of the attention side of things on YouTube. Now, well, what we've just learned on Facebook, all of us together, we've learned this together. It's not anything special. We've just learned this together over the last couple of weeks. And what have we learned? We've learned something that can turn one video into 20,000 hits in less than 8 hours. We've learned how to get 500 to 1,000 shares on a post or a video, and even get anywhere up to, well, my next target now is I'm hoping in a week's time, so like, what's today, Thursday, tomorrow Friday, by next Friday, I'm hoping that I can turn around and say on here, on live, we've actually turned a video into 50,000 hits. We've hit 20, so we've got to go for 50 now, and I think that is going to be so easy to achieve, incredibly easy to achieve, now that we understand how it all works. And I think we're going to start getting people following us a little bit to find out all this works above me. You know, it's not just about, they're not just going to follow us for coins. People are going to be interested to see how all this works. Because if I can do it, and I can do it while I'm on the bones of my arse, as you know, those of you that have been with us for quite a while, I am totally on the bones of my arse. I have nosedived at an unbelievable rate. We've hit the deck, smash, boom, explosion, and now we're leveled out, and now I think from the bottom, and you can't get as low as what we are at the minute, from the bottom, I think we're going to go like that. And people, and if I make this work with the information that I'm learning and the help I'm getting, then people are going to learn from this. People are going to learn from this, and there's a whole new marketing strategy and opportunity available for everybody. All the people that haven't got any money will be able to copy what we're doing and get tens and tens of thousands of hits. And it's so simple. If only I'd known how simple it was, I'd have tapped into it a long time ago. Hello, Sue, my darling, how are you? Pardon me. So we're on this journey sort of together, aren't we really? We're going to be learning all this together. Now, I can't show you this morning because we got to wait for Butch to come back, because I was going to show you on my phone how easy it was. You may or may not know how easy it was to invite people to your live, right? So, I mean, just to prove it here and now, I'm looking at two screens. I've got one screen down here, the phone, one screen up there, the iPad. You know, we've got 21 people watching us, is what I see on my iPad. And ordinarily, we would have 0, 1 person, maybe 2 people watching us on Facebook, the number thing. We're up to 12. And I know that when we come off, there's going to be 5 times as many views on Facebook for this video as what there will be on YouTube. And I can then bump that up. Now I know what I'm doing with the sharing and the groups. I can now bump that up and get this video seen thousands of times. Have you seen the new £5 coin? No, I've been a bit busy. I am a little bit out of touch with some of the coins that are being released. I am trying to, but I've got too much going on at the minute to pay attention to everything. So I'm just I'm taking the view of like fighting one fire at a time, and if there's things going on over there and there and there, some of them I'm having to ignore. And that's one of them. I ain't been able to keep up to date with any of that. At the moment, it's all about saving the business. Ian, make a Facebook tips and tricks video, absolutely, and stop smacking your lips, because I know it sounds loud on the video, sorry. So yeah, so we've actually got some tips and tricks in this video and the last video and the one before that, where you can physically see me, because I video myself doing it and show you what buttons to press. However, I can't do that today because, like I say, I'm using my phone for Facebook and my iPad for YouTube. But as soon as Butch is back and we're streaming out of the one device again, then I'll be able to show you on my phone how easy it is. So, Sue, are you paying attention? Right? I'll pick on you, Sue, because this applies to you. Right? You obviously don't know how this works, because if you did, you'd be using it, and so would Scott. So you can't do this on YouTube, unfortunately, what I'm about to tell you. You can't do it on YouTube. So, well, you can create a scheduled post on YouTube, but you can't get the attention, not that I've found anyway, that you can on Facebook. So you create the post. So Scott's going to go live tonight at 7 o'clock. Let's say he's going to do a live show with Hannah at 7 o'clock, right? So you create a post, like I invited you. I went through all my friends list, inviting everybody. So you got an invite from me. If you look in your Facebook notifications, most of you got an invite from me for this show, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So you create one of those. Now, once you've created that, and that's a scheduled thing, telling everybody what's going on and what time it starts. So Scott and Hannah are on at 7:30, blah, 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 right? Then you create that post. So now it's got a button on it for people to press if they're interested or to press if they're going. Then not only that, you scroll down a little bit, Sue, and you've got your entire friends list. And you just hit the button. Invite, 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 invite. And you can send an invitation, a manual invitation, as quick as that. And I thought, blimey, I've got a lot of people in my friends list. What happens if I do too many and it'll block me again? But I thought, I've got to try it, and so I literally sat there and I just went bang, bang, bang. Well, I was having a cup of tea, bang, 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 invite, 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 invite. And I did 240 and it did not block me. So it obviously will let you invite as many. If you had 5,000 people in your friends list, you could invite all 5,000. I'm sure of it. So I don't think that works differently to the algorithms and the software that blocks you from doing too many shares on groups and that kind of thing. So what you can do, Sue, is talk to Scott and Hannah, and then you create one of these things. If you don't know how to do it, ask Butch. I don't know how to do it. But you create one of these things Once created, then I can take over then, because you know Butch creates it. Now I'll get it shared, and you can invite all of your friends. Now, here's the thing. You know how I've been showing you all week how to share, to join groups and then share to groups. You know, I've been showing you how to do that, right? So if you build up your group, so even if you're not doing this because you wanna help me, or because you wanna join in the competition or whatever, let's say I'm sticking with Sue. So let's say you're a Sue and you're thinking, well, I don't want to do any of that, but I do want to look after my partner, my husband, who's a coin tuber as well. So what can I do? How can I learn from this and use it to help him? Got me? So you go and join a load of groups. Then when you create this post that you're going to invite all your friends to let them know that at 7 o'clock tonight Scott and Hannah are on, right? You then, because you've joined a load of groups, you then go and share the post on the groups, the same way that I've showed you how to share it. Now you can get away with, you know, if you go on today, no issues with blocking, whatever, you could just go boom, 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 and share to like 10 or 12 groups, and it won't block you or anything. If you was to, I mean, I did 30 this morning and went boom, 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 because I didn't have time, and I thought I'll risk blocking it, boom, 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 and I did all 30. And then, and that was it. So it will let you do that. It just won't let you do too many. You go start doing 50 or 60, one after the other, after the other, after the other, you're going to hit the block. But I bet if you came on every day and just went boom, 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 boom for about 20 of them, and then did the rest every 5 minutes, one every 5 minutes, then I think you get away with it. Well, I am at the moment anyway. I have shared to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. I'm a member of so many groups now, I lose in count. But and then there's another trick to show you, which is that if you've got any Facebook pages, you can actually join these groups under your Facebook page. So what do I mean by that? So I've got my Ian Facebook page, which is where you would be my friend, right? So I've got, call that my personal account. So we've got that one. Then we've got a second account, which is a page that I set up, which is the Great British Coin Hunt. So the Great British Coin Hunt has got its own page, right? And then we've got Ian Lambert, Ian P. Lambert, or at IP Lambert fan page, which is where I park all my videos. Now I made the fan page really with the intention of just parking all the posts that I want to regurgitate, look at and share again, because if I put everything on the Great British Coin Hunt, it will all disappear and it'll be a nightmare finding it. So I park them all on there and then I share them from there to the Great British Coin Hunt. That was the idea. Anyway, that works, that's cool. However, what I found is when I go and join groups, I can join the group as Ian Lambert, the personal Facebook page. I can also have an option to join the group as the Ian Lambert fan page. That one, the Ian Lambert fan page. I also get the option to join the group as the Great British Coin Hunt. All this stuff I didn't know. So what I've started doing is I've started joining whatever money and coin groups and financial groups, etc. I can find, but I join them under the name of the Great British Coin Hunt. So it's the Great British Coin Hunt that joins those groups, not Ian, the Great British Coin Hunt. Now, when I have a post and I'm going to share that post, and I can then choose who to share that post as. Right? I'm trying to give you all this in layman's terms, you know, make it easy to understand. So I'm going to share a post. Now I can choose who I share the post as. I can choose to share it as Ian Lambert. I can choose to share it as the Ian Lambert fan page. I can choose to share the post as the Great British Coin Hunt. So if I go on and choose to share the post as the Great British Coin Hunt, all I'm going to see in the groups that come up in the list is all of the groups that I've joined as the Great British Coin Hunt. I won't see those groups I joined under that name, and I won't see the groups I joined under that name. So it won't get too confusing. What that means is I've realised, okay, nice and simple. Any coin groups or anything to do with coin or money, I'll join as the Great British Coin Hunt. And then for free advertising, advertise anything, sell anything, blah, 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 I'll use another one for that. And then for another category of this one, that one, I use that one for that. And that way I can sort of separate. So under my Ian Lambert personal, I've joined all the ostomy groups in case I do a video that's ostomy related. Now that doesn't interfere with the others. So when I'm sharing to these groups, I'm not seeing all the ostomy ones because I've joined them under the name of Ian Lambert. And if I'm sharing as the Great British Coin Hunt, then I'm not going to see those groups cluttering up the thing. Do you see what I'm saying? It is so wonderfully simple and easy and brilliant for anybody to do. It's just that, you know, why doesn't anybody tell you this stuff? Why do I have to wait until you figure it out? I've been on there since 2004. 19 years I've been on Facebook. I didn't know you could do the things that I've learned over the last week. Didn't know it at all. teespring.com/no288. Morning England. Morning Roman. Now, with what I've learned over the last week, the attention that we are now going to get. And I'm saying all this without even doing it. So I could make myself look completely stupid and foolish. Or, if I'm right about what I'm saying, then every single one of you that are wanting to get more attention, either for your business or your channel or your page or whatever it is that you want to get more attention to, you would be looking at these latest videos over and over and over again to make sure that you understand how absolutely simple that is. And you've got it in your head. And you're off and running. You know, of all the things that you could do. I mean, for example, right, people would go and pay money to go away on a residential course to learn what we've learned over the last week. And we've learned it for free, and we've learned how to do it easily, and we've learned how to do it whilst on our arse and skin, and we've learned how to do it without knowing what we're doing. And it's working. So you can't fault that. You absolutely can't fault that. You know, when you know something's working, you just got to follow through with it, haven't you? So yeah, so there we go. Hello Angela, nice to see you, my lovely. So I'm going to be putting a lot of work and effort into that, and the trouble is I can't actually show you physically on the screen. I want to, because I'm so excited, but I can't physically show you on the screen, you know. And it doesn't matter what business you got. It doesn't matter if you're selling soap. It doesn't matter if you're selling coins, investments. It doesn't matter what you're selling. If you follow what we've just learned over this last week, you will attract thousands upon thousands upon thousands of members, likes to your page. And then it's just a question of you and your content and what it is that you're selling. I.e., supposing you're selling, supposing you're selling ties, and you go and put all this work and effort in, and you've got this Facebook page, but no one can buy a tie, well, it's a bit of a waste of time, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Or you're only going to put one advert up every 6 months, it's a bit of a waste of time, you know. This sort of things, because the thing about social media is it's all in the now, it's all in the here and the now and right now, this minute, you know. So, yes, people pay attention to our posts, but you've got to capture them in the now. And you use all of this, you can use it for any web page, any Facebook page, any website, anything, and you want to get attention to anything, you can. You know, my mind is almost brimming over. It is so excited and so full of what can be done and the potential of what could be done. You know, my mind is moving faster than what I can move and everybody else can move. And we've got some helpers, let me tell you. And, you know, my mind is moving faster than any one of us can move. It's just so exciting. And I'm even more excited at the thought of doing it twice. Remember, on my arse, no money, bankrupt, I took a penny and I turned it into £1 million worth of stock. Then I had a lot of trouble with the Royal Mint and 288 group. Then I got ill, then I nearly died, then we had lots of hassle, then we had a big explosion go off and the YouTube channel just about exploded and fragmented and got blown to bits. And I couldn't be more on my arse. I was actually, even though I thought my world was ending 7 years ago when all I had was that one single penny, I was more on my feet then than what I was recently. So being back on my arse again is like, got to do it again now. From the bottom, got to go to the top. Right now we're on the bottom, and some of us are on the bottom together, you know, because some of you are on your arse, some of you are on your arse, and some of you are on your arse. Right, and I'm on my arse a bit, so together, just by following a few simple bitses and bobses. Ooh, oh, it's so exciting. I can't tell you. So there we go. Anyone got any questions? Because I just talk for England. You know, so you chuck a few questions at me and that would be quite cool. And then I could maybe answer something. But other than going over the same ground, because it is so exciting. It's like, I don't know, it's almost like we're all finding our gravity works together. I don't know, maybe that's a stupid example, but pardon me. It's certainly the answer to marketing. It's certainly the answer to Facebook marketing for people that have got no money. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Without getting conned into buying millions of hits and shares and one thing and another, you can actually do it yourself for free. So that's really exciting. That's really exciting. I'd like to do a lot more work with it. Hi Judith. Hello Ian. Nice to see you too, mate. So there we are. I was going to pick the go and make myself a cup of tea, but I can't do that because we've got two devices. That'd be a bit mental, wouldn't it? Trying to do that. So I hope everyone's having a good week. I hope no one's caught the virus yet. We're on our way to 10,000 dead. Not quite there yet, but nearly. Start sorting the coins. So what is the best way to create weekly income on eBay? Right, so I would say, hello Sue, I would say that there's two ways of creating income on eBay. So the first is, do I need money immediately? So if you're behind with your bills and you're in debt and you've got credit card bills, you can't pay them, blah, 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 then it's more important, and you've got rent and you're worrying, where am I going to get money from? Then it's more important to get money in now, and that might make a difference to how much you list something for. On the other hand, if you can just bite the bullet and go, right, I'm going to sort my coins out, I'm going to list that for sale on eBay, and you take that item, whatever that item is, and you go, right, I'm going to list that on eBay and have a shop. It's £20 a month for a shop, but it makes sense to have a shop because then you can put everything in categories, makes it easier for the buyers. And you have it there, good till cancelled, and it's much easier if you've got a shop. And it's worth the £20 a month investment. So you list your item for sale, you put it up there in your shop, and you leave it there. Now that is the best advice anybody can give you. You leave it there. You decide how much you want for it. So you don't get involved in price wars and things like that. The absolute best way to do it is to go, well, that item costs me this much money, and I want to make this much profit. So, and you've always got to look at a double up, at least a double up to treble. Because don't forget, it's going to cost you 10% in eBay fees, it's going to cost you another 5% in PayPal fees. Unless you're selling something for £1, in which case it will cost you 27% in PayPal fees, the rip-offs. But anyway, so you've got a coin. That coin, you decide, well, that coin's only cost me 5p, and I'm happy, I want to sell that for £3, right? So you list it, put it up, £3, put it away, forget about it. That's the important, that's the key. That is the key to actually making proper money, is being able to forget about it. If you can't afford to forget about it, then you can't do it this way. But if you can do it this way, you will make much more money. You decide on how much you want for it, you put it up, you list it, then you put it away, and you know where it is. So even if you've got 5,000 items, you know exactly where this one little item is, because that is important. So that when you sell it for £3, you can find it within 30 seconds to a minute. You don't want to be spending half an hour looking for something that you're only making £3 on. You start losing money then. So you've got to have a system. I use takeaway pots and put labels on the front. So it's simple as that really, and put them on shelves. Ever so easy. That is the easiest way to make money on eBay. So you decide what you want for it. You paid, I've paid £5 for it. I want 15 quid for this. Right, so you list it for 15 quid and you leave it there and you put it away and you forget about it and you move on to the next one. And that's the key. List it, forget about it, move on. List it, forget about it, move on. List it, forget about it. Right, so you put it on a shelf, move on. List it, put it on a shelf, move on. List it, put it on a shelf, move on. That's what you've got to do. And you build your shop slowly, day by day. If you only list 6 items a day, that don't matter. Listing is the most horrible, boring, nasty job going. I hate listing on eBay. I hate sitting there listing items for sale. I've done it for 20 years. I hate it. But it's important. So don't think, oh, I've got to list 1,000 items, because that will just drive you nuts. Who wants to sit there and do that and even think about all that work? All you've got to do, nice and simple, I'm going to list half a dozen a day. Start off with that. And if you've done half a dozen and you think, oh, that's all right, I'll do another half dozen. But just go for half a dozen a day. And if you do 6 a day and you did that every single day, 365 days, multiplied by 6, you've got 2,000 items up in a year. Within 12 months, you've now got a weekly wage coming through. Because by doing it that way and settling your price and putting it up and forgetting about it, you're not going to sell every item every week. But by the time you've got 2,000 items listed, you're selling that one, that one, that one, that one, one of them, one of them, one of them. And so suddenly you're earning like £1,000 a week or whatever it is, because you're earning a good wage, because you've put all the work in over the year and the listings are all up there. That's the key, having the listings up there. We had, oh my God, we had, was it 20, 30,000 listings, something like that altogether. Took us 7 years, just constantly listing items for sale. List it, put it away, forget about it. If I've listed it too expensive, so what? That means nobody will buy it. If I'm not bothered, I'm not bothered. You know, sooner or later, that just means the market price, the market sort of, you know, my price is up here and the market is here, and I've got it wrong. But don't bother. Sooner or later, as time goes on, the marketplace will catch up with the price, and all of a sudden that will start selling. And if it's one item amongst 1,000, it doesn't matter. I'm not bothered. And even if every now and again, what you could do is, because you're listing it at the right price, making sure you leave enough profit, you can then go along every now and again and go, oh, do you know what, I'll put 25% off all my listings. Boom. And the whole lot in one go, in 2 minutes, you've put a sale on. And then you put that sale on for 2 weeks. And then automatically after 2 weeks, it goes off again. You don't have to worry about it. You know, and you're back to your normal price again. If you want to do that. So if you suddenly think, oh, I need a bit of extra money, I'll put a sale on. That's what I used to do. I used to think, well, I need a bit of extra money, I'll put a sale on. We had thousands, tens of thousands of items on. So if I put a sale on, all of a sudden the till goes nuts, absolutely bonkers. But you've got to put everything on at the right price in order to cover all of these things. It's no good putting 20% profit on, thinking, well, I'm okay with 10% because I'm only going to pay 10% out to them, 5% to them. And then later on down the line, you've forgotten you're only making 20% and you go and put a 25% sale on, you're going to lose money. So you've got to make sure that you overcompensate. You know, if you can't double your money, it's not worth even messing about. You know, and some items where you can earn 100%, 300, 400, 1,000%. Some pennies, 30,000%. So, yeah, so there we go. Now, I'm going to have to, I've had too many, no to 288 cups of teas. Subliminal advertising, a little bit, subliminal. And so I need to just go for a little Jimmy. So for a moment, you're just going to watch an empty chair. I'm sorry about that. But that's what happens when we've got no butch. So give me a minute. Sorry about that. Look at that. I always find that funny, the numbers go up when I'm not here. When I'm here chirping, the numbers stay the same. Or go down. And when I go away and you're watching an empty chair, the numbers go up. What's that all about? Right then. So, what else am I going to talk about? Got to stop saying so. What else am I going to talk about? I don't even know what the time is. I can't even see a time. No. Any time on there? No. I've been on 43 minutes. That's all I know. Live 43 minutes. Okay. So, I don't know how many people have joined us on Facebook, but it's been really interesting, and thanks for popping along. Do us a favour, hit the like button if you're popping along on Facebook, or you see this on Facebook or YouTube, hit the like button, do us a favour. And then, and on Facebook especially, you know, like the group, like the page as well. That would be great. So what day is it today? Today's Thursday, and today's Thursday. Hello, where are you from? I'm from Weymouth in England. Weymouth in England. So today's Thursday, and I'm going to predict that come next Friday, based on what we've learned, we're going to hit 50,000 views on a post. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. In the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to have a little giveaway. So here's what you've got to do. So you've got to think of a number between 1 and 20, and what you've got to do is think of a number between 1 and 20, and you've got to write that number plus some love to Butch, because he's not here, and he needs a bit more love. We ain't sent him enough love. You ain't sent him enough love to make him all better. So he's sitting there like death warmed up, he is. So think of a number between 1 and 20, and then write that number, and then send a little bit of love to Butch to wish him better, and hurry up back. Because we're missing you, Butch. We're missing you. So I've got a piece of me missing already. You know, you can't have Del Boy without his Rodney. I mean, you know, it don't work. So you can't have Morecambe without the Wise. Can't have the Abbott without the Costello. See? So I need you. So we've got to get you well. So go on then, off you go. Have a little, do that. If you, oh, what's the prize? I ain't told you what the prize is, you pillock. So the prize is, you don't even know what the prize is yet, and you're all off and running. I'll tell you what the prize is. Tell you what the prize is. Prize is going to be one of these spankers. So it's a Finland. It's like a £2 coin. It's a €5, so it's like a fiver. It's like winning a fiver, that is. And it's a Finland €5, and it's quite nice actually. It's got a nice picture on it, but it's exactly the same as our £2 coins. It's just different. A different finish. It's no real different. Anyway, and if one of you, let's see who's the first one to get the same number as me. Ailey, by the way, are you all right with yours? If you need any help, if you want to change categories, you need some extra, whatever, talk to me. All right then, so got a little bit of love going to Butch, and the winner is Will. I put number 13. I put number 13 because I knew that you'd think, will he put 13? No, he won't put 13 because he put 13 last time, so I'll put 13. Ha ha. So there you go, thanks Will. Have a little something for you, Will. No one on Facebook entered. By the way, have I got any family watching? If I have, yeah, don't worry about the teeth. I lost my teeth, I'm waiting for new ones, but the flipping virus is getting in the way. Just had me dentist appointment cancelled yesterday. Going to go and get me new teeth fitted. I feel so much better. Real Snell. There you go, Will. Right then, so have I covered everything that I need to cover with the social media stuff? Have you got any questions you wanted to ask me? I was going to put 14, but Angela had just put it up, so I went down one. Excellent. So if anybody wants to ask me any questions about that, whilst you've got the chance, and then I can go over again anything that you've missed. I hate seeing a bit of... And then I can go over again any sort of parts of it that you might have missed, or that you want me to go over again, or that you didn't understand. Because I'm quite happy to do that. A lot of the work we're doing now, you know, I have had emails from people. Well, I don't get the emails, John does. But he has had emails from the odd person, you know, saying things like, why is Ian doing what he's doing? Why can't he concentrate on coins? You know, why is he wasting his time on the videos? And one thing or another. And I've got to say, I'm doing it because my back's against the wall and I don't know what else to do. So I'm trying to think of every idea that I can think of in order to keep the business solvent and keep it saved. And so I'm learning an awful lot of stuff, and I'm trying an awful lot of stuff. Suck it and see. If you like the taste, suck it again. And if you don't like the taste, don't suck it again. And so with all the things that I've been learning and doing, I'm thinking, well, actually, I think we've got a chance of getting out of trouble here. I think we've got a real chance of getting out of trouble. I just wish I'd learned a lot of this a long time ago. So, come while you want to watch this from the beginning, right? When you come off, watch this from the beginning. If you want to know how to get thousands, tens of thousands of views to your Facebook page, watch this video, yesterday's one, the one before that, and watch a few more. And now I forgot what I was going to talk about. I forgot what I was saying. I do that a lot, don't I? Oh yeah, the emails coming in. So people have wondered, you know, why am I doing this, why am I doing that, one thing or another. But see, the thing is, you've got to do whatever you can do, and you've got to play to whatever market is paying you. You know? And the things that I want to be able to do, I can't. You know, there are people out there that can't understand why I'm just not going and getting more supplies and new coins and, you know, advertising hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them and all the rest of it, so they can keep going doing what I'll be doing. And the money just ain't there to do it. So I've got to I've got to plug a few holes in the boat in order to be able to get back in the game that way. So, you know, I've got to do it any way I can. I've got to plug them holes any way I can, and which is what I'm doing. And slowly, we will get back to the new coins and the latest releases, and even better than what we had before. You know, I mean, before all we had was a few choice coins, really. You know, we weren't let into any kind of marketplace. We weren't given any of the specialist coins. We weren't even offered any of the specialist coins. Hello, Damily. You might want to watch this from the beginning because you've missed most of it. You've missed half of it. But if you want to know how to get a lot of hits to your Facebook page, watch it from the beginning. Okay, Ian. So, I forgot what I was saying again. See, that's what happens. See, someone leaves a comment, I go and answer the comment, and then I forgot what I was doing. teespring.com/no288. So I'm doing the things I'm doing in order to save the business and protect everybody's money and get the investors their money back. And at the moment, some people think I'm a little bit off my cake and I should be doing other things in order to get that money. But actually, what I'm doing has got more chance of getting that money back than anything else. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with what works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there's more of this that's working and working and working every day, so it's great. I wanted to be able to do some giveaways and stuff today, but I can't. There's no way I can do that comment picking without Butch. So we'll have to wait until Butch comes back, which will be tomorrow. And if you've sent him enough love, then he'll be back tomorrow. If you ain't, then he might not be better. Have you sent him much? As long as you just send him some positive vibes going through the ether, and you'll go all the way over there, get to America, pop into Arizona, and cheer Butch up, which is exactly what we want. So, you know, what else should we talk about? Shall I tell you a story? Maybe I'll tell you a story. Have I told you a story about a baker? Tell me if I've told you the story about a baker, because that's a good story, that is. That's a good story about pandering to a marketplace and what can happen if you don't pay attention properly, or if you pay too much attention. It's only because I don't know what else to talk about this morning. Apart from going over the same things over and over again, you don't want me to do that. Or, you know, someone hit me with something to talk about and let's move on. It's a bit difficult when you haven't got, this is a man who talks for England as well. Do you remember I did 36 hours on my own, non-stop talking on the screen? But that wasn't non-stop talking then, was it really? But, yeah. But none of you talking to me. Wake up! What are you doing? Phil, Danielle, Sue, what are you doing? Come here. Wally. Oh, Wally. Wally, you won last month. We did the giveaway last month. We had a £500 prize, a £250 prize, £250 prize. And all three of those were print parcels with a retail value of 250, 250, 500. And you won one of the 250s, and I completely forgot. So that's been done, and I believe it's being picked up today or tomorrow. So you'll have that within a few days, Wally. And you and someone else, I can't remember who was the other one. Greg, if you're watching, Mr. G, I forgot yours as well. You had the £500, that yours is on its way. And yours is a nice one. It just happens to be one I'd already done up. Yours was 740 quid's worth. Nice. And then there was one for, who did I just say? Wally. And there's one for someone else, and I forgot the other person's name. But anyway, 3 parcels last month being done. When Butch comes back, we'll do this month's winners. You watching me on the telly, Danielle? Oh yeah, it was you that sent me the picture, innit, with your cat or your dog that was watching me on the telly. That's so funny. That's so funny. Everybody else has fell asleep. I've sent them all to sleep now. Just me and Danielle watching, really. Me, Danielle, and Will's got one eye open. And that's it. Why did I have this in my hand? I was going to do something with that and I've forgotten what it was. You see, you get me digressing, then I forget what I'm doing. Don't know, can't get Facebook stream running. I'm already on it. I'm on it. You should be able to just go on it and leave a comment, because I can see the comments. Look. See? That's Facebook. So, if you go on, are you on the right Facebook page? Not my personal Facebook, but you want my fan page at IP Lamb, I think it is. Try that, Chris. But you should be able to access it that way. And it should be there right at the top, because it's live. So it's a live going out. Can't believe how many people tuned into Facebook. That was quite mental. But I did send it out to about 20 or 30 groups before I went live, which was interesting. So when Butch comes back, you know, I reckon by the end of the month, I mean, here's an interesting one. You know, right now, according to that, there's only 5 people watching. Can you see? 7. There's now 7 people watching. So, this is on Facebook Live, right? And I think by the end of the month, we can take that up to over 100. And I think that will overtake that. By the end of the month, I reckon we'll be up to 100. Hello, Miss Bunn. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. You found it yet, Chris? You found it yet? Are you in? No? Leave a comment. No, nothing happening. It shows live but blank screen and no chat. Oh, how strange. How strange. Don't know then. I've got no idea. Maybe a refresh. Maybe a log out, log in. Maybe that would do it. But it's working, as you can see, because, you know, we've just had someone else come into the chat. He's left a message, see? And then, and that's gone up to, like, you know, I might as well, I'll be better off just leaving the phone there, and so that you can just watch each other, because the numbers go up more. Look at that, we went well up from 5 to 9 then, just by letting you watch each other. Now we've gone up to 12, just by letting you watch each other. It just goes to show, no one wants to watch a toothless idiot. Look at that. You'd rather watch a blank screen than a toothless wonder. Hello, Susan. So, there we go. What was we? So, it was up to there. I know what we'll do. You can't beat them, can you, really? Hello, my darling. Tried every trick I know, but no joy. Have you tried this one? Right, you take your thingy, yeah, and you go like that. Remember that one? Old ones are the best. Hello, Damily. I am from Weymouth in England, UK. That's where I'm from. And we're teaching people how to make money and get free marketing from their Facebook. It's one of the things we're teaching, as well as selling coins, teaching the Royal Mint and 288 Group and Ian Glenn how to behave and be decent, respectable business citizens, although they're not taking much notice at the minute, but we'll get there. You know, we'll have to smack their bum a bit, but we'll get there. And we'll be able to smack their bum by getting 100,000 hits to a video. I can't wait. I am so excited. Hello, Coin Searcher. Updating his sat nav. Yeah, it was Baldrick, my cat. I thought it was Danielle. I thought it was something like that. Yeah, I remember now. Hello, Coin Searcher. Don't know why Chris is having trouble with that. That is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Nice to see all the people that have just joined us on Facebook. Family and friends out there. Have a say hello, if you like. We've just been having a little bit of a chirp, a little bit of, I've just been having a little bit of fun, you know. I love that. Morecambe and Wise, you can't beat them, really. Go, Caspers. And then we've got Caspers. So for those of you on Facebook that don't know Casper, there's Casper. Casper? Say hello. Sit. Wait, good boy. Gives a paw. There's a good boy. So for those of you on Facebook, that's Casper. He's a lovely dog, he is. He's in a cage for 6 months in Spain. Nobody wanted him, so we had him. So he's going to lay down in the hallway now. He likes to protect me. So he likes to lie down just a little bit away from where I am, and especially right on top of the stairs he is. So no one can come up the stairs. He's lovely. No one can come up the stairs without going past him. He's great. It's fantastic. So what else do you want to know then? Where are we today? What else do you want to know today? Remember, I ain't got Butch feeding off me today. You are a ray of sunshine on a very cold, cloudy day here in Scotland. Oh, bless you, Susan. That's really nice. Yeah, I wonder what it's, see, if you know, look, I'll show you what it's like here. That's looking out here, it's actually calmed down quite a bit. You know, it's not really very windy and it's a lovely, beautiful day. Lovely, beautiful day out there. It's been terrible, but the last 3 or 4 days has been quite nice. All right then, here. It's like they just get a little bit, you know, if you leave the YouTubers out of it, they all get a bit chopsy. So I've got to make sure they get a little view as well. Yeah. So, nice. This is what it's like in Weymouth. Yeah. Now, nobody feels left out then. So do you want me to tell you a story? I need to blow my nose. Excuse me, just for 1 second. Thank you. So, have I told you about the baker? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Have I told you about the baker before? Because that's a good little story as happened. I've got a feeling I told you about that on my 36 hours live when I did it. But anyway, being as nobody has interrupted me to say, no Ian, don't talk about the baker because you've already told us before. Being as nobody's saying that, I will talk about the baker. Thank you, Logan. I love you, I do. teespring.com/no288. They're subliminal. This is what we call our subliminals. And if you want a mug like this to say no to 288 group, no Ian Glenn is what you might want to say, then you go to www.teespring, T-E-E, spring.com/no288 and you can get one. Anyway, I digress as usual, and I notice I'm slapping my lips again. So the baker, you're going to love this story, right? This is going to teach you something, this is. What it's going to teach you, I don't really know. It's going to teach you something, right? And you might remember this story to pass it on to somebody else, right? When you have these people that want to tell you what to do, oh, don't do this, do that. What you want to do is do this. What you want to do is do that, and it can drive you nuts when you're trying to run a business because everybody's got an opinion, you know, especially when things ain't looking too good. When things are looking all right, you know, it's different. But when things ain't looking too good, suddenly everybody wants to tell you how to do it better. Gonna make a cuppa and a sandwich. Make sure you watch this bit later then, Will, because you'll like this bit. So there's a baker, and you know, he's noticed a little slump in sales a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. And anyway, he's talking to his son about it, and his son's a bit of a panicker and stuff. And his son's looking at newspapers and that, and he's saying, "Oh, there's a depression coming, Dad. Look, they're saying there's a depression coming." And what's going to happen is, you see, when a depression comes, people are going to have less money, and they're going to buy less. So what we need to do is we need to make less bread. It's sensible, Dad. Make less bread, because less people are going to come into the shop, and less people have got money in their pockets because of the depression that's coming, because such and such has happened, and this has happened, and that's happened. You know. So we've got to work to that. So the dad's not very sort of up to date, technological, you know, jumping on all the news and all the rest of it. He's far too busy making bread every day. He gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning, puts his ovens on, and he's making his bread, and he's working hard, right, at what he's done all his life. He's working hard. Excuse me. But his son's paying a lot of attention to the media. His son's reading newspapers, watching the TV, not working as hard as he should be. He's actually spending a little bit time, too much time, taking notice of other things that he perhaps shouldn't be taking notice of. But Dad thinks, well, it's my son, and he's the one who's just come out of college, and he's the one who knows better than I do. I'm just a baker. I've just been doing this all my life. He must know the marketplace. He must be right. All right, then, he says, son, we'll make a little bit less bread. So they make a little bit less bread. So over the coming weeks now, because they've made a little bit less bread, the amount that they would normally have made on a daily basis, they've cut back. And they've probably cut it back by about 20% have cut back. And sure enough, as eggs is, sure enough, they've sold less bread. And they're sitting there having dinner, and the son says to the dad, see, I told you, Dad. Well done, Chris. I told you, Dad. I told you we'd sell less bread. It's the marketplace. This is what's going on in newspapers and the magazines and the TV and all of that. So, you know, less people have got the money, and we need to make less product in order to make sure that we don't get caught out and we haven't got product sitting on a shelf going bad and nobody buying it. So what we need to do is make sure we've got less product. Dad says, yeah, I see that. I can see what you're doing. So he's made a bit more less bread, and so the percentage went down again. And the strange thing is, the curious thing is, every single week they would sit down and they would have these chats, and every single week they would sell less bread. And so the following week they would make less. And that week they would sell less bread. And the following week they would make less, and then they would sell less bread. Until eventually they made so little bread that they weren't selling anything, that they went out of business. And there's a moral to be learned in that story. You know, don't believe everything you read. Don't listen to what everybody tell you. You've got to follow your own gut instinct. You've got to follow your own way of doing things. Don't listen to other people that haven't been doing it all their lives. It's that thing about walk a mile in my shoes and all the rest of it, you know. And I don't. I learned that from that story many years ago, and I don't. I noticed that the more you let people know you're in trouble, personally or business wise, I notice people have got an opinion and they want to tell you what to do, and they suddenly know more about your life and more about your business than anybody else. And actually, you've got to follow your own way. You've got to follow your own true path of what path that you set out. Take advice, listen, read, but be logical and be common sensible. In a situation like that, of course, if you make less bread, you're going to sell less bread. It is logical. It is daft to assume otherwise. If 1 minute you're selling 500 loaves a week and the next week you only make 250 loaves, well, you can't sell 251, can you? You can only sell 250. So, you know, just because you think things might be a little bit tough, that doesn't mean work less. It means carry on working and work more. And in a situation like the baker, in a situation like that, you should not be making less, you should be making more. Continually making more, and then judge what it is that you have actually got left over at the end of the day. So that's my little story on the baker, just to use up quarter of an hour, 20 minutes. Which gives us time for a little bit of subliminal. teespring.com/no288. Ian, I've got to tell you, I'm going to drive you insane. I am absolutely going to drive you insane with this. To a point, I'm going to orchestrate this and organise this to to a point where everywhere you go, you will bump into Ian and No to 288 and TGBCH. Everywhere you go. Give me 3 months and you won't be able to walk into a room without somebody mentioning us in a conversation to you. 3 months from now, I absolutely put money on that. Cheers. No to 288. Well, I feel like I've had an enjoyable stream today. I feel like I've had a bit of a, you know, so it's been nice, bit of a chirp, bit of a relax, and all of that. Have you seen my Ostomate video? That Ostomate video I did, oh, it makes me cringe, but 9,000. If you add up the amount of people that have seen it on YouTube, 10,000 people have seen that. 10,000. That's incredible. That's incredible. I think that's the most I've ever had hits wise, apart from the coronavirus one where we got 20,000. Oh no, it's not. Then there's the 50p one I did on YouTube. That's got 31,000, 32,000. So it's there. So all you people on Facebook that don't even know who I am or what I'm talking about, if you wanna build your presence, build your Facebook page, and you've got no money, tune in, follow us, watch us grow. Go and have a look at thegreatbritishcoinhunt.com on Facebook, facebook.com/thegreatbritishcoinhunt, right? Go and have a look at that. You'll see we've got 17,000 following and we've got 20,000 liking the page. Pardon me. Go and have a look at the page that you're on now watching this video, Ian P. Lambert. Go and have a look at the followers on that. There's only 400 people following. There's 100 people that like the page and 400 people following, and you might think that that's nothing, but we've just done that in a week, just over a week. All those extra followers came through about a week ago from that one video. So you watch this page grow to 400 to then 4,000 to 40,000, and you could be doing the same thing to your own pages and your own channels. And then we've got Chris working on something extra special behind the scenes, but we'll let you know about that later. And we've got our raffle up and running. We're over 9,000 subscribers on YouTube now. That has just gone absolutely mental. I think we've done that in a year, less than a year actually. And I'm now going to apply my creativity to Facebook and watch what happens on Facebook. Watch how we go on Facebook. Like I say, I'm either going to be talking out of my art, I'm going to be talking out of my bum, or I'm going to be right. And if I'm right, you want to be along for the ride. Most definitely. Hope something comes from it. Yeah, me too. I think we're going to do it all right. Ireland are closing all schools and colleges at the end of March. Yes. There are so many money-making opportunities right now. Pardon me. You may very well say, oh, it's outrageous for someone to go and sell a packet of Angel Delight for £10 on the internet, for example. And I would say, that's a bit of a cheek, but nice thinking. You can't blame somebody for making a profit. If somebody's got an obscene amount of money to spend on a silly little item and they're prepared to spend that obscene amount of money and give it to somebody that hasn't got a lot of money in exchange for that silly little item, let them do it. Let them do it. You know, a celebrity goes to, sends a assistant to jump on a plane to go to New York to buy a pair of jeans that cost like $100 or $200, but they've got to have that specific picture. And over they go, and all the way back, and they go by business first class and all the rest of it. And the pair of jeans ends up costing $20,000, but they don't care because they've got so much money. Well, you know, this kind of thing goes on all of the time. So if Marmite is difficult to get hold of, and some enterprising young squirt decides to put a jar of Marmite on eBay for 50 quid and sells it for 50 quid, it's nobody's business to have a go at that person selling the Marmite. Nobody puts a gun to your head and says, go on there and pay 50 quid for that jar of Marmite. Nobody sticks your arm up your back and says, go and pay £10 for a packet of Angel Delight. But there's an awful lot of people that want to stab them in the eye with an ice pick just because they've thought of it and put something up like that up for sale. Now there's going to be a lot of people that go into the profiteering side of it, and there is a fine line between making a profit and illegally profiteering. I believe in that, quite right. You don't want prices skyrocketing too much. But for odd items here and there, taking a few quid off the people that have got a lot of money, like the rich, and giving it to the poor, you know, because the people that are rich have the same problems that the rest of us do, which means that they've got to organise shopping, and if they don't go to Sainsbury's on their own, then they're going to send the cleaner and the cook to Sainsbury's to do the shopping. And if they can't get hold of a packet of Andrex, oh dear. And if that means that they're going to pay £200 for a packet of Andrex for someone who hasn't got a lot of money, yeah, take the 200 quid off them, send them the Andrex. Absolutely. Let's have 200 quid out of your rich bank account, money that you will never be able to spend in a million years, and let's pass that on to someone who needs the money that just happens to have an extra bag of Andrex. You know what I mean? You know, the people often get the ump with people for making money out of situations, you know. And I would say, before you point a finger at somebody making money out of situations, when's the last time you went down and demonstrated outside? People hate it when I use these examples, but it's true. When is the last time that anybody went down and demonstrated vehemently outside of funeral directors? You evil people! You're making money out of death. You're making money out of people dying. You're charging £2,000 for a box that we're just going to put in the ground, all shiny. No one demonstrates against funeral directors. They would still, if they halved the price, they would still make a fortune out of death. So at what point? I mean, Ron's put up a good point. He said they're arresting people. I haven't seen the news, no. If they're arresting people for profiteering, it depends, because like I say, there's a line. You know, at what point do you call a funeral director a profiteer? I mean, in the old days, in America, they used to literally wait around. Every time there was an argument, they'd be like ambling about and waiting around just in case somebody shot somebody, straight in with a measuring tape. And they put a guy in jail for licking his fingers and then touching the pole on the train. Well, if somebody was stupid enough to do that and go, yeah, look, I'm licking my fingers on camera and I'm going to put it on a pole, yeah, you idiot, you deserve to go into prison. You know, and in the days when you had the AIDS problem and people were stupid enough to spit at a policeman, yeah, you deserve to go to prison. Absolutely deserve to go to prison. If people are going to be stupid, absolutely you deserve to go to prison. In fact, people like you don't even belong really with a line. You shouldn't be allowed to have a line. It's a shame that can't be genetically taken away. You know, like a Darwin Award. These people shouldn't be allowed to procreate and make offspring. Shouldn't be allowed to make offspring and corrupt our world with even more idiots. Those are the kinds of people that deserve to go to prison. Those kind of people that think it's funny. Ha 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 ha. Aren't I clever? You know, but making a few quid, no, there's nothing wrong making a few quid. Nothing wrong making a few quid at all. If somebody was clever enough at the moment they heard about this virus to have the foresight to go out and buy 100 boxes of masks and now sell those masks for £10 each on eBay, then that's a very clever and astute person, because that's somebody that foresaw what was going to happen. That's the sort of person you don't want to be telling them off. You want to be offering that person a job on the stock market, because that bloke saw more than what all of these people on Wall Street saw. If somebody was astute enough and had the foresight to go out and buy whatever they went out and bought and put their own money into it 6 weeks or 8 weeks ago when this story first broke, and that person thought, it's a gamble here, but you know, this could go around the world, and if it does, people are going to want that product, and I'm going to buy loads of that product just in case. No, that person shouldn't get arrested. They've gambled their own money. They could lose. What happens if there is no outbreak? What happens if there's an antidote, etc.? That person has put all that money into it thinking that that's going to happen. They've just lost all their money. No one's going to come along and go, oh, never mind, we'll give it back to you. No, you're not going to do that. What's going to happen is people are going to come along and laugh. Ha ha ha! Aren't you the idiot? Like the guy that bought a warehouse full of hot pants. Just at the moment hot pants went out of fashion and got laughed at. If that guy had that factory full now, nobody would be laughing at him now, because them hot pants would be worth 3 times the price they were worth in the 60s. You know, so, but it turns out that it does go around the world, and therefore the person that bought all of that stuff, actually, that was a good gamble and a good decision. Should they get in trouble? Should they go to prison for making money out of it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's worth demonstrating in the streets to protect that. To protect that, because that's what capitalism's all about. What they do with the money, have a look at that, pardon me. You know, I like to call myself a capitalist socialist, because I like to make money and I like to do some good with it. I like to have some nice things, but I don't go out and buy £1,000 shirts. In fact, I don't go out and buy £100 shirts. You know, I'd like to buy an £100 shirt. I've seen one I like, but I don't go out and buy £100 shirts. So, you know, it's all relative, isn't it? It's just that people tend to jump on people that have an idea of about making money. And plus the other thing is, you know, the person that's making a few quid, look into them a little bit. What if you've got somebody that ain't got no money, but they just come up with the idea and they thought, oh, I think that's going to happen. Oh, I'll buy extra of those. I think I'll resell them. Is it wrong for somebody to go and get a Booker's card and then go into Booker's, which is a wholesaler's, and clear the shelves full of hand soap? Why is that wrong? Because none of the other shopkeepers can get it. Well, why ain't any of the other shopkeepers gone in there already then? They could go in there, they could walk in just like that guy. They can walk in and empty the shelf if they've got the money. Why haven't they done that? Because they want to go in and they want to buy a bit of everything for their shop. This guy wants to go in, he wants to clear the shelf on one product. He's prepared to put all of his money in and gamble on one product. What if he's wrong? If he's wrong, he'll end up selling that product for less than what he paid for it. In which case the shopkeepers will be very happy, because he'll be able to buy it cheaper. If he's right, he's going to make a shed load of money and everybody's going to want to hate him. Oh, you disgusting animal, you made a profit. How about the politicians that have got investments in the companies that the government is now going to give contracts to because of this coronavirus? How about those? Now, I'd want to put one of those people under a guillotine a lot faster than I'd want to put the ordinary man in the street under the guillotine just because he's had the sensible idea to spend 500 quid on toilet rolls and sell them for £10 a toilet roll. If they ever get to that stage. And if they don't, then he's lumbered with £500 for toilet rolls that he's going to have a lot of poos with in order to get rid of, because nobody wants to buy them. So, You know, this is what happens when you get Ian riled up and started on that kind of thing. Who asked that question anyway? Was it me? David, if you're still here, Judith has posted your coin. Yeah, and that's another thing, you know, like what Soundwave Man says there, the 7 richest people in the world, you know, take half their money and you get rid of most of the world debt. Now, that kind of thing is a bit like, oh, really? But there's a lot of truth in that kind of stuff. In the fact that, you know, the smallest percentage of people have got most of the money and the biggest percentage of people have got the least amount of money. And what do these percentage of people need with all of that money? No, you want to start going into profiteering, you want to start having a go at people for making money. I'd start with the richest people in the world. Because whoever they are, the richest people in the world, you know, you don't get that rich without pulling some strokes. You don't get that rich without profiteering. You certainly don't get that rich with all love and kindness. You have to be ruthless to get that rich. Absolutely ruthless. I ain't that ruthless. So that's what I think about that. And if you want to help me fight the mint, oh yes, we've sold some more of the shares. The shares have gone up nearly 20% now of each one. Marvellous it is. Nearly 20%. £2,000 we raised over the weekend, which got me out of trouble. £2,000. So we've still got another 80% to sell. Pardon me. So the £100 shares, if I'm right, there was somebody left a comment on YouTube, some know-it-all going on about these don't belong to him, he's a con man, these belong to Nominet, blah, 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 blah. Well, of course, you know, you've got your legal ramifications of who actually physically owns, as in the word owns, a domain name. And apparently none of us own a domain name. The actual Nominet, whoever they are, companies up there somewhere, they own the domain names. So obviously then I'm not selling ownership of a domain name. Like this numpty come along and started, you know, and I hate that. I hate it when people come along and they don't understand something, so the first thing they got to do is call someone a con man. It's like, you're a con man, you're a con man. No, you idiot. You just haven't taken 1 second to look at what you're doing. So, you know, forget the ownership thing. It's, you know, what I'm selling is a membership, isn't it? I haven't sold anything else. I'm selling a membership. You're buying a membership to the club, and for every person that puts in 100 quid, if I get the Royal Mint to pay me £1 million to transfer the token ownership, because none of us actually own it, over to the Royal Mint, then everyone will get £5 grand per £100 share. And on the Royal, as for the royalmint.tv, and for the royalmint.news, anybody that puts in 39 quid and we sell it to them, if they don't buy it, they don't buy it, and you're just giving me 39 quid for nothing. Just like the 100 quid, you're just giving it to me for nothing. That is the deal. So I can't be a con man if I'm telling you that it's a birthday present to me, it's a Christmas present to me, it's a gift to me. You're giving me the money. You're going, here, Ian, I want to give you that money, and I don't expect ever to see it again. That's what you're doing. If, on the other hand, I happen to be right, for every £100 you put in, you're going to get back £5 grand. For every £39 you put in, you're going to get back 1,425. And I can legally do that. And the numpties out there that think I can't, well, go and learn. Go and do a bit more research and a bit more due diligence. You know, anybody can transfer domain names at any price. And why do these people have to come at me? You know what I mean? If you go over to GoDaddy or LCN or Nominet or whatever, or any of these domain places, you know, there are 1 million domain names up for sale. There are people that are asking 1 million, 2 million, 5 million to transfer a domain name, and somebody wants to come along and have a pop at me. You know, I can't stand, these people that just want to get in there and stir it up and interfere. You interfere in old busybodies. Get out of it, sling your hook, and leave a few people alone that are just trying to get out of trouble and sort their lives out. The daily allowance for a Lord to attend the House of Lords is more than 1 month's disability benefit. Absolutely. These are the people that make up the laws in our country. One of our MPs has now got the coronavirus. Tom Hanks and his wife now got the coronavirus. Doesn't matter how much money you got, doesn't matter how much money you haven't got. It's going to attack everybody the same, no matter what. And it will be a great loss if we lose Tom Hanks, you know. But nobody knows at the moment. He's got a, what is his chances? 1 in 100, something like that. Well, 1 in 50 now. His chances have just gone to 1 in 50 of the two of them being okay. Because if you're, you know, if you've got a wife, you don't want to live and your wife die, and you don't, you know, your wife don't want to live and you die. So, and you've both got a 1 in 100 chance of surviving. So now the odds have just gone down to 1 in 50 as a couple. So I wish all the best for Tom Hanks and everybody else that's got it. But it's, you know, as I said quite some time ago, you've got to, you know, the biggest clue in all of this, the biggest clue in the damage, the biggest clue in what's coming at us, all of us, the biggest clue in all of that was the fact that China said we're building a hospital in less than a week, and even that wasn't good enough. And then within a couple of weeks, they're building another one. That, to me, you cannot have a bigger clue. If somebody come along and knocked on your door, and you opened your front door, and they hit you in the face with a wet fish, I don't think you could be more grasped hold of, banged in the present moment. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. But just me. Anyway, I digress, as usual. Right, look at that. See, 97, 100 minutes. It's 100 minutes. That's an hour and a half, isn't it? Have we been on an hour and a half? Don't tell me I've still got half an hour to go. Have I really got half an hour to go? Are you still there, Susan? Are you still hanging in there? Just need to check on timings and stuff and where I am. Bojo, do you mean Bono? Oh, Bojo, Boris. Said he would put the minimum wage up to £10. They lied. See the budget. Yeah, but he's been lying non-stop. And every single person that voted Conservative, you need to share the blame in that. You know, you vote for a liar, that's what you get. You vote for somebody that doesn't care about the human race, that's what you get. You vote for somebody that's so stupid in their youth that they go, oh, he's silly, he was in his youth. Somebody that takes a monetary note, sets fire to it and waves it in front of a homeless man. That's the sort of person you want to punch in the face and not stop punching in the face until there's no face left to punch. Because that's somebody that despises people that are better off than them, that are worse off than them, and that loves lording it up. You know, I used to have a lot of respect for Boris. You know, I like, but then I saw through. After a while, you can see through that fool act, that pretend act, the act where he's just about to go on camera. So just before he goes live, mess the hair up to make him look a little bit more foolish and stupid. He doesn't make himself look clean and tidy. Make it all. And the BBC just got caught out. BBC just got caught out editing a news thing to make him sound better. That is the BBC showing unbelievable bias towards the Conservative Party. Unbelievable bias. These are people that are given money from every single person in the country that's got a television to stay in business, and they are showing absolute bias in their news running programs. It is outrageous. It is just a small thing, absolutely outrageous. How dare they edit the the shot of the camera on Boris talking away, and they edit it just to make him look good. Just like the way you can edit things to make people look bad. And I think it's outrageous that they did not keep the full answer or the full speech or whatever it was in there. That's absolutely disgusting. Phil Corbett, I've been given a couple of tickets for the Villa match on Saturday, wondering whether I should go. That's why you've been given the tickets, Phil. Because they don't want to go, probably. Do you know what I mean? Don't go. Don't go. I'm supposed to be going away to a birthday party for an 8-year-old. I ain't going. You know, I feel bad, but I ain't going. Not going to go. I am not travelling anywhere. John was supposed to go, where was John supposed to go? He was supposed to go away somewhere. We was talking about it yesterday. I said, mate, you can't travel. Nuts if you travel. To go and put yourself into that, why are you even thinking about it, Phil? If you were standing in front of me, I'd go, Phil, wake up. Phil, smell the roses. What's the matter with you? Well, I do it with a wet fish, not my hand. Know what I mean? You're going to take a chance. Don't matter how small that chance is. Don't matter if it is a incy, wincy, 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 percentage of a percentage of a percentage of a percentage of a percent chance, or if it's a massive chance. The one thing me and you can agree on is that you're taking a risk. It is a risk. The fact that the word risk even comes into that sentence. Tickets. No, mate, don't go. I don't want to lose another customer. You know. Be another wallet gone, wouldn't it? Don't want another customer and another wallet gone. I have to go to another funeral, and I ain't coming. So if you go and snuff it, just because you've gone and been selfish and gone to a bloody football match, and then you expect me to come to a funeral, not coming. Because then I'll come to your funeral, and then I'll catch it from someone at your funeral who had a football with you, and then I'm going to snuff it. No. I'm not coming to your funeral. So don't die. So don't go to the football match. Watch it on TV. That's what TVs are for. Funny invention, that. It means that we don't have to travel hundreds of miles to go and do something. Because we can just go, boop, and switch it on, and then just sit there with a nice little cup of No to 288, cup of tea. Nice. Subliminal. And then we can watch a telly. Comfort of our own home, feet ups, armchair, wife waiting on you hand and foot, bringing you in a bacon sandwich as they're scoring the goals. Nice cup of tea, teespring.com/no288. That's what you want on a Saturday afternoon. What you don't want is the stress and the thought of getting up, getting ready, rushing around, getting out there and into the public whatevers. Getting to a football match, parking up, all the traffic you've got to go through, all that stress. Get in there, park the car up, manage to get to the gate. Now you're one of 50,000 people and you're standing there like a lemon thinking, why did I just go through all that? Because now I'm standing here and I'm risking dying. Whereas you could just sit at home, turn it on, a cup of No 288, bacon sandwich. Know what I mean, Phil? So that's what I think about that. So, don't go. Don't do it, Phil. Phil, don't do it. Don't go, Phil. Stay, Phil. Got it? Right then. Thanks. I think I need to go off and first of all I need a cup of tea in my No 288 Teespring mug. Then I'm going to have a smoke, and then I think I might need a bit more therapy to get me ready for the next show that we do. So there we are. Everybody okay? We sort of go there, we call it there. I think I'm, don't know what else to talk about really. Unless we go into the, you know, other realms of, what was I watching last night on the telly? I was watching something, I can't remember. Look at that, I was something I was going to talk about last night's telly and forgotten what it was. It's that simple. So those of you that are not in, our VIP Supporters Club, WhatsApp me. Get in touch, WhatsApp me, come into the VIP Supporters Club and we'll get this advertising and marketing and Facebook stuff rocketing on, won't we? So yeah, thanks Will, thanks Soundwave Man. I'm going to call it a day there, I think. We'll just say our bye-byes and then I'll go off and I've got a couple of jobsies to do, bitsies and bobsies. Thank you Susan, and thank you all the ladies on there. Disney and Sue, nice to see you. Don't forget, Sue, to tell Scott what I said and get him to watch that bit of the vid. It's really interesting. You know, you'll end up with 10 times the viewers. And if anybody wants to buy some football tickets for this weekend, give Phil a shout. I might have talked him into staying at home with any luck. Okay, and if you haven't bought one already, please, please, please go and buy one of them. Nothing would give me greater pleasure at the moment than to actually sell every single one of them, to just go like that to 288 the Royal Mint and all the people that say I can't do it. And it will give me a lump of money to go and give the solicitor, which I could do with doing. So, if you haven't bought one yet, please go and buy one. Just search our website, the GreatBritishCoinHunt.com for Raw Mint, or Raw Mint TV, or Raw Mint News, and you'll find both of those. And if you want a block booking, if you buy 5, I'll give you 6. So and you'll get 6 individual ones, individual receipts, just in case you want to put them on a wall, or you know, or you might even be on one receipt, but in case you want to put it on a wall or anything like that, as a you know, that you own part of rawmint.tv and rawmint.news. So yes, have a couple of those. If you haven't already, please get in on that, because I've had my confidence boosted no end with the sales that we've had on that. It's got us out of trouble this week. I'd like it to keep us getting out of trouble, and this will get us out of trouble, especially for a couple of months if I get all of them sold. So get on the site and get involved in that. £100 share, you might get back 5 grand, or you might get bugger all. £39 share, you might get £1,425 back, you might get bugger all. That's it. Alright then, thank you ever so much. Thanks a lot on Facebookers, and thanks a lot YouTubers. And we'll see you all tomorrow. I'm sure Butch will probably be back tomorrow, but I will check that out later on today. And if you're in the volunteers group, we'll let you know in there. And whichever group you're in, we'll let you know in there, and the word will get about. But hopefully, and this invite thing, if you're in my personal friends list, you'll get an invite. Because now I know how to do it. I'll just keep inviting people every day. Alrighty then. Thank you very much. And everybody be safe. Wash your hands as often as you can think of it. when you're searching the coins, get some of them disposable gloves. Mind you, they might be going up in price soon, but it really is a good idea to get some disposable gloves in. I don't like them because it's like disposable plastic, isn't it? But I think they should be put in the recycling. But anyway, get them disposable gloves, put them in the recycling, and keep yourself safe. Keep yourself clean. Okay, thanks very much. Bye bye everybody. See you later.